Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a My Hero video. I know a lot of you who watch this channel are used to either movie reviews, wrestling videos, or One Piece videos. And I know me and Jazz sometimes throw in some like Kaiju number 8s or such, but gonna start trying to do some more My Hero content. Oh, and me and Jazz do Black Clover content. Black Clover's been on such a long break that I forgot it freaking exists. Like, it needs to come back. Like, me and Jazz were doing that weekly, but starting now, we want to start doing My Hero videos with my guy, Versen. We got the V-Man in here. Now, Jazz will join us sometimes, but this will be mainly me and Versen's thing. Versen, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing all right. A lot of the anime that are currently airing are really good, so
Mm-hmm.
that's nice.
Yeah, it is a good time. Man, I will say, I know I host a show called Anime Talk, which is coming back finally, but like, I've been so manga based for like this whole year. Like, I've been reading so much manga, man. Like, I gotta say, I know I've been watching anime in sporadic, and I started back up again. And like, I rewatched the last My Hero season. I will say consistently, I've been watching One Piece weekly because Wano was beautiful, and like I'm in on One Piece. But I watched the your brother recommended vampire detective anime that's new. That one's really good. I've been pirating watching the Rurouni Kenshin thing just to see how it is. I don't want to support the guy, but like I want to see what it's hitting for. So it's like that. And then I started rewatching Yu Yu Hakusho from the Rando arc, and I went from Rando to Saint Beast. And I'm in this, and right now I just started the Dark Tournament. Like, they just got to the island, so I've been loving rewatching Yu Yu Hakusho and watching that newer detective show and then One Piece. But like, I'm about to get back on my anime vibe. I've been really reading manga heavily, and Shonen Jump has been good. Like, it has been good this year for Shonen Jump fans.
Yeah, and obviously it's always nice to go back and see, some golden oldies as it is, especially, whenever you're talking about Yu
It
Hakusho.
is
There
great, and like
happened to be
people talk about a remake. I don't want it. Just go watch the old. Like, the old one is perfect, bro.
yeah, you know what, like, is honestly a fear of mine, and I'm not trying to be like hipster about it or whatever, but like 90s anime, whenever it's done well and whenever it's a little greasy, whenever you get a little bit of
It's the
like
best.
pop on it, yeah, you know what I mean? Like
That's why I
remaking
was
Yu Yu
so against
Hakusho is like
Trigun.
saying, yeah,
Like,
or like wanting to remake Cowboy Bebop. I wouldn't mind it.
yeah, I'm against that. Like, the Trigun thing worked because they added stuff to the story. I
Yeah.
still think the 90s version looks better, and I like it
Mhm.
more because of that grease that you're talking about. And I think Cowboy Bebop has it. Yu Yu Hakusho definitely has it. And it's amazing. Like, I was watching it. It's one of the few dubs I watch. And like, it's one of the few dubs in anime in general that I can watch in the room as I go to sleep with my girlfriend, because she'll actually watch it. Like, there's three that she lets me that she'll watch. And well, four, but I haven't watched this one in a while because it's been a minute. Food Wars, which she actually is into because she likes to cook and whatnot, and that she likes it, minus the orgasm shit. But the three that I watch in the room that she doesn't mind: Yu Hakusho, because she's actually into it because it's a good dub. It's a really good dub where they took the source material seriously and didn't treat it as childish. That's her thing with animes. It's like, if I'm listening to a dub or if something sounds childish, she instantly thinks it's a cartoon and pops out. But Yu Yu
Yeah.
Hakusho didn't do that. Cowboy Bebop doesn't do that. And well, One Piece, she accepts the sub because she likes, like, she heard Kaido's laugh and she's like, what the fuck is that? And she just likes like I say, the One Piece sub is the best thing ever because of the way that they talk, and it just sounds incredible. And like, even if you're not into it, she knows how much I like it, so she lets me watch it. And sometimes she'll get into it. She likes seeing Luffy do that Tom and Jerry shit, in her words. But
Yeah, yeah.
I'm with you with the grease on the 90s anime. I'm so with you. But this is
Yeah.
anything else before we
Oh,
jump into MHA?
I was just gonna say, as much as I love like Hunter 2011, and I
See,
like a lot of
I
the
didn't
things
watch
about
the
it.
older one. I never watched it. I missed it.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, like those I don't think are too bad, but I wouldn't want a Yu Yu Hakusho 2011
Oh yeah,
where like
no.
it is crisper and cleaner
Did you see the
and like,
OVAs?
yeah,
The newer OVAs where they explained Hiei and Kurama's backstory, and then they had like
no.
another Yusuke mission. They basically did exactly what you're talking about in these OVAs to give Yu Yu Hakusho fans new content. I think that came out in like 2020 or 2019. It was cool, but exactly what you're saying, it felt off. I didn't like it. I really didn't like it.
It feels ironed out. which is
Yeah.
like how a lot of like modern anime, and again, I don't say that
Mm-hmm.
as like a slam at all, but you know what I mean, like
And I feel like
it
that's
just is
probably
a
why I've been more
difference.
manga. I feel like that's honestly why, because like if it's not 3D, it's that polish. But like that's what makes JJK's anime special is it gives you as new as you can be, but it's still got that grime. Like I love the
Mhm.
grime. Like you need the grime in some of these darker stories. Don't make it so cartoon-esque. Like One Piece has the grime now, which is crazy. It's its own type of grime. It's this Toei brilliance. But I'm loving. That's why I'm watching One Piece weekly. Like I haven't watched One Piece weekly in years, years.
Yeah, watching the One Piece transition as I'm going like back through with my partner, watching it go
It's
from
crazy.
90s semi grimy but like a little loose with it to iron out polish, play it safe.
Trash.
And now we're back in it, you know? Now will it stay for Egghead? I hope so.
It needs
You
to.
know.
It definitely,
Yeah.
and honestly, I think it will because I honestly think that's why Super's
Final
not
Saga and
back
all.
yet. Yeah, and that's why we're getting this new Dragon Ball Daiish bullshit. But that's a conversation for
Yeah, yeah.
another day. So yeah, this is the My Hero crew. We may be doing some divergent stuff because I'm always down to talk to my guy Versen, but we're gonna be trying to start talking My Hero, if not weekly, every other week, giving you some extra content on the thing. And I felt that it was best to start this conversation with the end of the All Might fight. And obviously this is spoilers. The fight's obviously not over yet, but All Might's participation in the fight is over. So it's worth
Mhm.
talking about. So let's jump into it. Before we do any of this, Versen, because people know from One Piece, let's give them a little bit about our My Hero love. Who's your favorite My Hero character, and how do you feel about the series overall? I know some people's heard my thoughts on it, but it's been a while, and we're starting this series fresh, so got to do the whole what we feel about the series spiel.
Okay, so that is a little bit of a hard thing, I will say.
Because yeah, it's
None,
changed over the years. I will
yeah,
say.
and like I'll say this: the Three Musketeers, as they called, no, none of the three are my favorite, but I don't actually dislike them.
Interesting.
Like like I think they're fine. Like Deku is like a fine little guy.
Mm-hmm.
I have my gripes with a couple things, but like you know, if you really like made me had to choose, I personally really like Tokoyami. You
Okay.
know, the Birdman himself, just
Yeah,
because I really like his power. I think it's
it
interesting.
is.
I like how much they like play into like his edgelord persona, but also they make it a joke. And like I really like his how he's evolved, and him hanging out with heroes like Fat Gum,
Mm-hmm.
and like different heroes like throughout time, and
Hawks.
getting like a sort of mentorship with Hawks. Yeah. Like and also you know, I don't know, like I do like Miliaron, before just because he was a real true blue hero.
Yeah.
I think how him and Deku like worked off each other, I think really, really solidified a lot of things
See,
for it.
you're coming into my well, I might as well go since you say Tokyo. I do like
Mhm.
Deku. I think Deku is who sold the show to me. I bought into him as an MC, and I really liked his growth. That's one of the reasons why I don't watch the dub, because I don't think the dub actor, and I hate when I do this because it makes me sound like I'm shitting on him, but I'm really not. Like, I just don't like how, and I think this is a directorial choice. He's only following what they're telling him to do. They didn't make his voice change how I felt his persona changed
Yeah.
throughout the manga. You can hear it, and the sub does it. The sub, his voice starts off one way, and as he grows, it changes because he changes. And I think that's one thing that I dislike about the dub. But I really am a Deku guy. But I would say Lemillion and Deku are pretty even for me. I love Lemillion for the same reasons you're saying. Like, he is a true blue hero, man. Like, that guy is amazing. Like, I have a figure. He's the only pop figure I have. I have a Deku, and I like Kirishima a lot too. I do. I wish he got more. That's a video we can do at as we're building our My Hero collection, is characters we wish got more love from the series, because there's a ton. But I love me some Kirishima. But I would say, I guess my favorites are Deku and Lemillion, and then like I don't know. I'm not a Bakugou fan. I can say that. Like, I don't dislike many
Mhm.
characters from My Hero, but I really don't ride with Bakugou out of the Three Muskets.
Uh,
Like, I'm not a fan.
my partner also really likes Shinzo, and also
Oh
Aizawa, obviously.
yeah,
Yeah,
that I
like
love those two
because
as
they got
well.
a good little side thing going on,
Mm-hmm.
and it is nice, especially as someone whose favorite piece of superhero content is Worm. It's nice to see
Okay.
heroes who operate a little bit different. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
facts. Not the traditional.
Like yeah, they still grind or whatever, but in some circles they would be called what we call cold capes, where you're
Gotcha.
more like shadow and like you're a little bit
Hmm.
like off the grid, but you still like doing the work. You're still a hero, but
That Jason Todd esque Red Hood type of
yeah,
hero.
and not even necessarily like like doing bad or whatever, or even anti-hero level, but it is a I don't want any fame whatsoever. My power literally sometimes needs me to be known as little as possible.
Gotcha.
You know,
Okay, I
I
see what you're
like that
saying.
dichotomy. You know what I
No, for
mean?
sure. Like
Because
I'm a big fan of Shinzo and Aizawa.
yeah, because like Aizawa was a little bit harder because especially because he gave him so much. But like,
I like
if
the way he
everyone
uses
knows,
raps. Like that shit
yeah.
is amazing.
But like, if everyone knew what Shinzo's power was, he'd be instantly neutered.
Oh, big facts. Yeah, he has to be like undercover. Like on honestly, if they get the
He's got to
world
do
back to
hawk shit.
normal, when I think they will, he could do undercover missions. Like that's what he should do. Like he should be like you said, Hawk shit. Exactly. Also, I like Nagant and Hawks. Like I like both of those characters, and I think I like Batsuit All Might, which we will get into. I wish we would have gotten more Batsuit All Might, honestly,
Mhm.
because I thought that was absolutely freaking phenomenal to see how a quirkless hero would work in this world, because that was always Horikoshi's. That's what he wanted at first, was to do a quirkless hero as the main hero. But looking at it, what he had planned for All for One, it would have never worked. Like, there's no way you can pitch to me that as good as All Might's suit is, Deku could have beaten Shigaraki with that suit. No fucking way, bro.
I think the only way that it could have worked is if
You'd have to scale down the
Deku.
villain. You'd have to.
You have to, and also you need like less overall villains because you need
Mm-hmm.
to basically turn into a case of Deku being almost in charge of 1A for one reason or another, and
Mm-hmm.
him basically being the ultimate tactician.
Yep, and
You would have
solving
you would
missions
have to
like he'd be Batman. You'd have to do the Batman Justice League story where
yeah,
he's like the main mission leader, pointing like you said, tactician, quarterbacking the plays and shit.
it would literally turn into a case of what people think should happen if Shikamaru was the main character
Hokage,
of Naruto.
yeah, no, I'm with
You
you.
know,
Yeah,
like he would have to turn into maybe not the same temperament, but that would have to be his overall
and
character.
honestly, you'd have to you'd save like the powerful villains for like Class 1A Justice League type stuff, and you would give Deku like personal like serial killers who are out here, more
Like
stains where
Noir.
yeah,
Yeah.
where he focuses on his martial arts and his gadgetry, and he solves mysteries at night, and then during the day he quarterbacks these teams and whatnot. Yeah, it'd be a completely different story. But
Basically, vigilantes would be the main story.
yeah, essentially, which a lot of people, and we will get shout out to my guy Dan. He hosts The Bar, one of the best vigilantes YouTubers on YouTube. He has one of the biggest channels. That's our guy. He's in our Discord, which you can join if you
Nice.
would like. The link's in the bio. We will get Dan on, and that's why I'm glad we're starting the channel, because I wanted to do an interview with him, and I'll have you on there, Versen. Dan's a really cool guy, and he has a lot of thoughts on My Hero and where it's at. So, yeah. So for me, My Hero, it's been ups and downs, but I've been one of the people who I know a lot of people in the fandom, Dan included, don't like how certain things have happened. I know from our conversations, Versen, you as well. There's certain things I agree with, and our friend Jazz, where I don't like where some of the story points have gone. But I don't think I can ever say I hate My Hero, and I still love it as much as I've always have. I just agree with y'all in the sense of there's certain story choices that were really bad, like Stars and Stripes. What happened with her, really bad. What happened with Nagant, really bad. But I think there's moments like what's going on with this All Might fight that brings it back up for me. Like he'll miss 6 shots in a row, and this has only been recent because the beginning was really great, but
Yeah.
he'll miss but then give us this amazing moment with All Might and have this what we're about to talk about happen, which it pulls you back in. The Al Pacino scarf, Goodfellas 3 reference. Just when I thought I was out, he pulls me back in.
Yeah. Like for me, the thing about My Hero, whenever it comes to me, is I like it, but for me, like the stakes are low. Like if a One Piece chapter
Mm-hmm.
came out and was just bad, that hurts me
Yeah, for
because
sure.
One Piece is like my soulmate.
Yeah, no, I'm with
That's
you.
like me and my partner having a major argument. That would hurt me. Whereas My Hero's like, that's my homie I hang out with on occasion, and usually we have a good time. But if he pisses me off or bums me out or whatever, I'm not like gonna cry over it. I'll be like, all right, cool, let's hang out and like 3 weeks from now, and
Yeah.
like, all right, I need to step back a little bit from the homie a little bit because he said some stuff that I didn't necessarily agree with, but let's give him
It'll
like
make
3 weeks to cool
like
off.
like you said, One Piece makes me super sad. This will make me like irritated. Like it'll make me irritated to where I might be upset for a week and then I'm back good the next week. Like
You're
I
like a disappointed dad where it's like, I know you
yeah,
can get straight A's. I've seen you
exactly.
do it
That
before.
because I love My Hero, man. Because for me, as you know, I'm a big DC fan, and I always thought the superhero genre in manga would work really well. And I always thought there was things that My Hero could have did where we had spin-offs and everything. And I just don't necessarily agree with where we ended up at. And like it's like you said, a disappointed dad. Like I love a lot of it. Like I said, Deku's my favorite character, so I love the Deku stuff. But there's stuff with other characters that should have been explored that I felt was rushed.
Yeah, honestly, I my biggest thing, and this is kind of wrong me to put on Horikoshi, but and maybe part of this actually gave it a little bit of a bump at the beginning. I kind of thought My Hero was gonna do kind of like almost a similar thing that Naruto did, except because he saw everything that happened with Naruto. I thought we were basically gonna get all the good of Naruto and none of the mid to bad.
I thought that there was a moment where Shoto tells Deku, "I stand on this." Early in the series, where he goes, where he was explaining to Deku about why some of these people aren't coming to his side automatically, and he was like, "Yeah, Deku, you can have your words, and those things matter, but at the end of the day, we live in a world where actions are what are the end all be all. It's good to have your words, but you have to be like All Might and have your actions." And I instantly, when I heard that, I was like, "Oh my goodness!" He realizes we can't do talk no jutsu, and it's gonna be all the best points of Naruto, but with none of, like you said, the mid and the stuff that shouldn't have been there. And I thought we were gonna get that this Naruto-esque amazingness fused with like Teen Titans or some Justice League X-Men shit.
Yeah, and like I also thought, like, now I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna also immediately contradict myself. I thought we were gonna get more of the homies from Class 1A who would do more,
Mm-hmm.
but this last arc, they've arguably done a lot.
They
Arguably, some of
have.
them not too much, but
Some of them have. Like we needed more from others, no, for sure.
yeah, but like
And
that's kind
their
of where I'm
storylines, for
at.
example, like the discrimination stuff. Our guy Jazz always talks about this, about the stuff with I don't know his name, eyeballs on his hands where he has the web wings, like him in the guy who talks to animals. Like they
Yeah,
talk
Mr.
about the whole
Tentacle.
with oh I know this guy's name, the lizards. It's with Spinner. With
Mhm.
she shows you how much who hit who and how much which one was more impactful. Spinner and all these people are doing the discrimination plot line, and it's like we've gotten that once before and haven't gotten that again. There's no point in putting it now at the end because there's other shit we care about at the moment. Whereas
Yeah,
you give us that when I would have wanted to see Yao Momo, how she has these cannons and all this amazing shit, jetpack, and is like the ultimate Iron Man weapon. I would have rather see her fight instead of the Spinner and all this shit because we've never focused on that.
yeah, it very much feels like we're trying to check boxes at the end.
Yeah.
Whenever
Mm-hmm.
it's like
It feels
should
like
have been,
Avengers Endgame almost. Exactly. Like
yeah,
honestly, like
should
some
have been
Marvel
running all
shit.
the way through,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like
instead of
I honestly
rushing
feel
to the
like Yao
showdown.
Momo should have gotten that screen time over some of these characters that did. Like Jiro. What was Jiro doing in this final fight? Like
You know,
like, and we didn't even get to see most of the Makia shit. The Giganto.
yeah, yeah,
Like leading into this All Might fight. I guess he was trying to get us to the All Might fight, which I mean did not falter. This was amazing.
yeah, yeah.
So let's talk about the All Might fight. How did you feel about it? Because I think this is the place where we can start to review chapters from here. I always thought his suit. I felt that people were saying he was Iron Man, My Hero's Iron Man. I disagreed. He felt to me more like Batman with his Justice League armor. He felt like the Hellbat, where everything in that armor was a contingency for the Justice League, and it was used to fight Darkseid, the ultimate villain. It was everything that the Justice League did well for that could contend against them. But he always felt that if you combine all their powers, it was the ultimate weapon against Darkseid. And that's why I felt like All Might combined all of the powers of Class 1A, i.e. the Hellbat, to beat One for All. I mean, All for One.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too, because like a big thing about like Iron Man, and maybe I'm being simplistic or whatever, but a lot of what Iron Man does is overwhelming force. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? Like,
It's not
and
strategy, really.
yeah. Or even if we like say it's, I'm not saying it's not smart or whatever, but like All Might never once did something that was like, the big blowy. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like it, and nor was he trying to, because
No, he
he
wasn't.
never even really thought he could take him down. He's like, I'm going to buy literally as much time as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be a lot of evasion, taunting, getting in his face, and then backing off immediately and surviving.
Yep.
It's similar to how we're talking about, like, with One Piece, where like there's a different mission objective right now in the
And it's
current
not
arc
to beat.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I respect whenever a battle shonen does that.
Mm-hmm. And to
uh
that point, he realized like halfway through, oh shit, maybe I can. Because at first you're right, it's about stalling. But then when he realized his regeneration quirk isn't working to the best of abilities, it was like, oh, I can get him to be a baby. Like
yeah,
that
I can
became his.
push through.
Yeah, he switched his goals midway through, which was it went from buying Deku as much time as possible and buying these people time to pick up UA to, oh shit, we can actually beat him right here and right now.
Mm-hmm.
Which I thought, which the explosion thing at the end, which we'll get to, that was beautiful. But the way he just pulled it away from us was like, okay.
Yeah. I guess we'll see how that ended up.
Yeah, but go ahead. Back to what you were saying about like some of the All Might gadgets. I thought it was great how he like the Giro power sending sonic waves, using Cero as like in Black Whip as like ways to get around his Spider-Man shit. Like I thought everything using from Class 1A was beautiful.
It's one of those things where it's like, I don't know. For some of the characters who I feel like we didn't get a chance to do as much, especially fighting wise or whatever. I think that was almost a way of Hori being like, yeah, I know
Sorry.
it's not technically using this character to do it, but this is what someone who is dedicated to fighting, the big boss with that power set could do.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a nice shine, just like how I know no one likes Mineta. I don't really like Mineta, but
Me neither.
I respected Mineta when he got his little scene right before All for One left.
True.
You know,
True.
and how he tried to bluff it and be like, Dark Shadow is all Tokiyami has, and his quirk's garbage. You want mine instead. Like I it was nice to like see that happen. The same, and it's nice to see these powers, at least, if not the characters, also get a little shine.
Like I was just while you were saying that, I was looking for some of the powers that he used. Him having the tentacles going and using those to like if he touches them, it could like do the gravity thing and lift him up while shooting full thrusters to do Ida. So it's like he's using all of these people all at once, like using these tentacles to shoot out anti-gravity beams to make with All for One float while he goes full throttle to just punch him in the face using the freaking Ida thrusters on his legs. Like just amazing.
Yeah.
So any other things you liked about this fight?
Yeah, I personally really don't have any like anything to complain about the fight. I think it's mostly all good. Like I think the like dialogue exchange between the two is pretty good.
It reminded me very much so of Joker Batman, but towards the end of Killing Joke, where Batman is unhinged, where he almost laughs with Joker at his joke because it's like, you've pushed me so far that like, I don't want to say broken, but like we're at this point where there's no going back for us. Like it's like we're talking openly and as honestly as possible because I hate you, you hate me, and we know that this is the end for us.
Yeah, I agree with that, and also I think it just solidifies that our boy All Might definitely is the Will of D.
Yeah,
like come on now,
he's a little crazy.
So yeah.
Oh, did you say he has some Will of D in him?
Yeah, he's got
the Will of D, no, he did. Yeah,
he's
he
going
does.
out with a smile.
He is.
You could never taken that smile away from him. Not once.
Well, okay, is he going out? Because that's the shit where we're at, where Deku can't do anything. He's crying. He's going berserk. He's starting to see the All Might symbol in his I guess what would you say that's his aura, his one for all dimension.
His like mind palace deal.
Yeah, his mind palace and his one for all mind palace. He's starting to see an actual All Might like how the others are, and then all of a sudden Bakugou awakes and like, let me ask you, because people are saying that that this is Bakugou's relative that's in him, and maybe some of the quirk got passed down genetically. Would you buy that? Like, because Bakugou was looking very one for all-ish in this situation. And when Deku, they all in the scene in one of these chapters, All Might is holding this glowing orb, Deku's holding this glowing orb, and Bakugou is as well. And they looked very similar to how they did in Two Heroes when Deku threw Bakugou in Two Heroes to hit that guy, and they both had one for all. Oh, I don't know if I like that version. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not a Bakugou guy.
Yeah, well, I've pretty much always just assumed, and I think...
Or do you think his quirk's awakened? Because that's another thing. His quirk could be awakened, which a lot of people are saying.
I think it's very possible that Bakugou is going to end up somehow sharing All for One, just like in the movie.
Oh my goodness!
Listen,
one for all, yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Well, I'm pretty sure that's where Horikoshi wanted the story to eventually end.
To go, yeah.
Now, granted, the fact that we already saw it in a movie means we might swerve and do something different.
I hope he does something. You want to push your camera because you got out of focus for 2. Oh, there we go. Back in.
Yeah. Sorry. Look, where I'm at with it is basically like, Horikoshi already stitched that boy a new heart.
He did. He wanted to keep him alive. Yeah.
So I'm not going to be surprised at anything that happens with Bakugou. Like I said, low expectations.
Bakugou's fighting. So so if he gets it, he's fighting All for One, and Deku's fighting Shigaraki. That's what's about to happen, probably, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess that's how it has to go down. Like a very weakened All for One
versus a very weakened...
has to have Shiggy.
So. Yeah, there's no one else that can fight Shiggy, and Bakugou said, "Let's end this All Might." So will it be All Might combined with Bakugou, whatever All Might can do at this point, which is I doubt anything. So he'll probably put him down.
And All Might with a pistol.
All Might with the Glock, with the Draco.
He's like, listen, I'm out of superpowers, but I ain't out of options. And he just pulls out a nice little revolver. Does it fucking Wild West. He's like, all right, here we go. Texas blam.
Kaido to Odin. Like, Odin has been boiling for 2 hours, has taken hockey blast, all of this. But the pistola gets him.
Man, that's Leonard. One Piece loves being disrespectful with a pistol. Like, because if you hit somebody with like a big attack or from your devil fruit, it's not visceral enough to make the kids scared. So if you want to do someone dirty, it's always got to be a pistol. Like, just like how in Red versus Blue, no one's in danger unless a pistol comes out.
Yeah, Corazon was getting slashed with Doflamingo's attack, but once that pistola came out, he was done so.
Dude, you could literally see a character get like their heart ripped out on screen, but if it didn't get shot, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, so All Might's gonna, like you said, Texas revolver. Plow. While Bakugou's doing his blaster
while Bakugou's like putting a small supernova or whatever between his fist, that's gonna damage him heavily but not kill him. It's gonna have to end up being a pistol that actually does him in. Not even a hollow point, just a normal 9mm.
I will say I will say this though, to the theory of genetically of quirks being passed down, is that a way, the reason why Shigaraki, Deku is seeing, he always sees little Tenko in Shigaraki, and how in that connection, there's a reason why they're connected. People are thinking it's because of the brother, but what if it's because Shigaraki has part of One for All in him, and that's what's fighting All for One, because you realize the fusion's not happening. What if the little piece of One for All, little Tenko, is fighting off the fusion and and Deku's going to have to pull him out? And what if we see the genetic thing, and that's why the second user was meant to look like Bakugou, because, like you said, Horikoshi wanted Bakugou to have One for All towards the end, and it was going to be some genetic shit. That would let me down.
Yeah, I mean, I can
see it happening, man, because why did that guy look just like Bakugou, and why is Bakugou at this moment doing this? In, there's certain like points in the chapter where it's like there's connections between the three. Why did Bakugou see All Might in the visceral form, like in the One for All Visage. That's it, the Visage Mind Palace form.
Yeah,
When he saw all for one for all in that moment. But I will say this is Bakugo redeeming himself for the Camino Ward when All Might went to save him and he caused him trouble and made him lose
yeah,
his power. This is the reverse of that. So
of
good for
course, of
Bakugo
course.
redeeming himself.
I will say, I don't know, man. Like My Hero and Horikoshi in general gets a little loosey goosey when it comes to a lot of this like genetics, that
It
kind of
does.
stuff. Like, I don't know. I'm never really a super big fan of that in my anime.
Me
And
neither.
also part of it does feel like I thought My Hero had a relatively simple-ish and established
And
power
it wasn't
system.
supposed to be like
If we have
inherited.
like soul fragments, then like
That fucks everything. Like
yeah, it's I'm gonna feel like Palpatine returned if it's like
I'm
the
not
only
gonna go
reason why
that far,
Bakugo.
but I'm with you. It's pretty bad.
No, I'm just saying, like, if it turns out that the whole reason why Bakugo can do this or that he's like a true blue hero is because his great great
Genetics,
grandfather
yeah.
or whatever was like the second or third user or something, like of a
That's
completely different quirk that
you
we
know
don't see passed down in any other member of his family line.
you know what that is? That's the when people thought Luffy reincarnated into Joy Boy and it wasn't going to be Luffy anymore. You remember when people were like, "Oh no!" And then that's why Oda made him come out and say, "Who are you?" No, I'm Monkey D. Luffy. I'm still Luffy. I'm still the guy. Like
Yeah,
it would
I'm
have
at my
been
most
that
free
version.
actually.
Yeah, it would have been that version of this if it was the other way. But I'm with you. I hope it's not this. I hope it's the other thing that people are thinking of. The quirk is awakened and like he's
Mhm.
his ultimate form, which I think would be awesome.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I'm whatever Bakugo does.
You're just
I'm
let's
not
see what happens, my hero.
Yeah, like I'm just like, listen, whatever bullshit you guys want to explain away, you basically brought a kid back from the dead.
You
So at
did.
this point, it's kind of whatever. He could like, oh yeah, now we're gonna start really wondering how it worked. Like he was dead and now he's
A
not.
guy
It could
stitched
be
his heart back
anything
together.
now.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, dude,
You're absolutely
he
right.
taped it together like it was a fucking blown up balloon,
He
dude.
gave his
Like
life away to be this kid's heart.
best genius was the best genius.
Well, no, it was Edshot who did it.
Yeah, no, but
Best
it
Genius just
makes
gave him some thread.
I know, dude, but it makes more sense if it's the actual thread guy instead of fucking Edge.
No, I know. Because Best Genius was his mentor, so it would have been even
Yeah.
more poetic if he gave his life away for
Yeah, and like don't get
Bakugo.
me wrong, like Headshot's fine or whatever. It's just I don't understand why it had.
Why it was him? Yeah, because he came
Um,
out of fucking nowhere.
yeah, he was like, "Damn, dude, I'm." He's like, right here on my fucking ID card, it says
Number
Oregon donor,
4.
right
Oh
here,
my
dude.
God. I'm the number 4 hero. I got to do something heroic. Organ
Yeah,
donor.
yeah, number 4. Therefore, I was bound to die. I had to die.
I would honestly, it'd have been better if he did made it Kamui Woods because at least that was the first hero we saw and we got to spend some time with him. We never did anything with Ed Shot. Anything.
Dude, if it was Kalia Woods, we could have done it. I think maybe he was thinking about doing it, but he was like, "We can't do Hashirama again.
He
We
could
can't give
no,
this
but he
boy
could have
away
did the
again."
he could have did Karama from Yu Yu Hakusho where he shoots a seed in him. In Karama's thing, the seed grew and killed the person, but you could have it to where the seed grows into a heart with like Best Genius's threads. Like I don't, you could have did some fucking, but you're right, that is very Hashirama-y still.
Let me ask you a question. How mad would people be if it was like Mirko's heart and we lost the hot black bunny woman
Oh,
because
it would have
to
been
bring
over
back
with. It would have
Bakugo?
been over with because this would have been another woman with Nagant, Star and Stripes, and now Mirko. We will raid the palace of Horikoshi to save our black queen.
I don't know. I'm just saying, man. I don't
Nah, he
know.
kept her alive with a bionic leg and arm. Like he knew he couldn't kill her.
Yeah.
Cause boy,
Well,
he got Crust the fuck out of here. Crust was gone. Like, or Shigaraki said, swipe, and Crust just
listen. Don't even worry about it because I'm not going to put anything past Horikoshi. There's still a good amount of
to
manga
get
left,
Mirko
buddy.
out of here.
Yeah, nah, dude. At the end of the day, the last panel is going to be also. By the way, Mirko, you have breast cancer,
Oh my
unfortunately.
gosh, stop. On that note, we're gonna get out of here.
Yeah, I'm
But
sorry, guys. I don't want to doomsay the beautiful woman. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to
no,
do.
it's
Uh,
okay.
I will say though, with this being my first video with you, I do want to
Mhm.
ask, how do you think My Hero will end?
Oh, all
Final
right.
chapter, final panel, whatever.
You know what we're gonna do? we're gonna make that into a video.
Okay.
That's what we're gonna do. We'll turn that into a video since we've never done this before with My Hero. We will turn that into a video, and that will be the next one we release along with the chapter review.
All right, because I have something that I've been, and I won't say it here, obviously, but I have something that I've been brewing on ever since I first watched the first episode of My Hero.
I thought it was gonna be different. Like, if you'd have asked me this when the series first started, I'd have given you a different answer.
Yeah, well, what I've been cooking on, I've had in my mind since it started, and in my opinion, it still ain't fucking gone.
Oh, it's still okay, real. Well, yeah, we're turning that into a video. Then save that. All right, hell yeah. Well, tell the people where they can follow you at, and we will be reviewing My Hero. Like I said, we'll be doing the chapters like we do with One Piece, if not every other week, and then we'll do some extra videos just like we do with One Piece.
All right, sweet. All right, well, it's been a blast.
Oh yeah, tell them where they can follow you at.
Yeah, sorry about that. My bad.
I was letting you do your thing.
Yeah, I was remembering my theory, and then I was like, all right, we'll get that done. Anyway, so you can follow me over at Versen the Vassal on Twitter, or you can follow me at Josh Troskler on Twitter or Instagram or whatever. So I just went and did some cool stuff over in Broussard, but I do want to remind everybody that at the Event and Library on the 16th, we're going to be having a community meeting from 4 to about 6 about some local pipeline build out. And also, this is hot off the presses. I just found out about this. I don't know if I'm going to be involved in it yet, but I recently learned they're reigniting a pipeline that is next to my grandma's house over in Franklin.
Oh, damn.
And right behind my family's community church. So the same one that I went in as like a kid or whatever. So can't let that happen. So I'm sure I'll be doing a lot of protests and a lot of events over in Franklin soon, but definitely Vinton for now.
Hell yeah. We will keep y'all up to date and follow Versen for all the information on that. You can follow me at Lyn BWT, follow Bros Who Think at Bros Who Think. Be sure to check out the Manga Melee podcast, the Bros Who Think podcast, Bros Who Binge, the One Piece videos that Versen and Jazz and I do, and all of the content that we have here on the YouTube. But until next time, for Versen, my name is Lyn, and you guys have a good one, and peace.